Hey everyone, here's the video I promised. I'm going to be covering the 4 major reasons why some Apex players have bad aim and of course how to improve it. You see, Apex Legends is a very dynamic FPS game where good aim is really something you need if you want to have decent gameplay. Now here's the things you've got to work on if you want to get better. Number 1, panicking. This is the number 1 reason most Apex players tend to find their aim is really bad at times. They don't know how to keep their cool or stay calm under pressure. While playing Apex, you may find yourself in some sticky situations at times. Maybe you're walking around picking up loot, the next thing you know you're being attacked by a whole squad, or your teammates are too far and the guy you're fighting is beating the shit out of you. Keep this in mind, it doesn't matter how bad the situation is. One thing you should learn to do is keep calm, because there's no way you're gonna be able to get proper aim if you keep panicking all the time. First, take a deep breath and calm the hell down. Next, make a plan of what you're gonna do to get out of there alive and do it. If you've seen the way pro Apex players play in their videos, they're always so composed no matter the situation, and that's probably a contributing factor to their perfect aim. It doesn't matter how cooked you are, or even if you're being pushed by 2 whole squads at the same time, keep your cool. The only way you can make this a habit is by playing the game more, so you get more used to it. Okay, so moving on. Number 2, poor recoil control. Well, as you all know, every automatic weapon in Apex Legends has recoil, which includes SMGs, LMGs, ARs, and pistols. It's the reason your guns jack upwards when you fire. Of course, this means some of the shots don't reach the target, which means less damage done. Some Apex players don't know how to control their recoil, so their gameplay ends up looking something like this. There are 3 ways to control your recoil that I know of. The first is mirror strafing. This is basically when you fire at an enemy as you mirror their movement. In other words, if they move left, you move left, and if they move right, you move right. And while doing this, you keep your crosshair on them and keep firing at the same time. In Apex, strafing left and right while firing completely eliminates the vertical recoil of automatic weapons, and almost all the shots will hit if done properly. The second kind of recoil control is anti-mirror strafing. This is the opposite of mirror strafing, so here you move opposite to the enemy's movement. If they move left, you move right, and if they move right, you move left. Anti-mirror strafing is actually the most used kind of recoil control among Apex players, probably because it feels easier to do, but overall, it works exactly like mirror strafing and they're practically the same thing. The third kind is manual recoil control. Unlike mirror and anti-mirror strafing, here you fire in place without having strafe left and right. Every weapon in Apex has a different recoil setting, so when you get close to a wall or any hard surface and fire continuously at it while in place, you realize that the shots make something called a recoil pattern. Every weapon has a specific recoil pattern, and every time you fire it, the shots will follow that specific pattern. In manual recoil control, all you do is try to counteract the recoil pattern of the gun. For example, this is the R99 recoil pattern. Its shots will always make this pattern when you fire without movement. Since I'm playing on controller, to do manual recoil control, I'll have to move my R joystick in the opposite direction of the recoil pattern to neutralize the R99's recoil. The only problem with this is that every gun has a different recoil pattern, so for you to use this method, you'd have to master the recoil pattern of every weapon so that you know how to counteract them. So that's done. Number 3, poor crosshair placement. The other problem people have in this game is that they don't place their crosshairs in the right place, which means that when enemies suddenly pull up in front of them, they take too much time trying to get the crosshair to the enemy before they can even shoot. Such players tend to look at the ground, even look too high, like at the sky when moving. Moving around with your crosshair pointed towards the ground or to the sky, instead of being centered in front of you, puts you in a very dangerous position and can be the reason you're beaten a lot and tend to lose a lot of matches. This wastes time in which the enemy can land extra shots on you and deal extra damage, putting you at a disadvantage. When you move around doing whatever you're doing, keep your crosshair centered at head or chest level. where an enemy would be likely to appear, not towards the ground or to the sky. Good crosshair placement means less aiming adjustment is needed when an enemy actually appears. And finally, number 4, bad sensitivity. The last reason why people tend to have bad aim is because of poor sensitivity. Sometimes the sensitivity you're using doesn't really work for you, but you don't know that, so you keep using it and it keeps messing up your aim. Maybe it's too high, maybe it's too low. That's for you to figure out. When your aim sensitivity is too high, you'll experience a lot of jittering while firing on enemies. When it's too low, you'll find that you're not able to turn your view easily or track fast-moving targets. I personally use 4 for look sensitivity and 2 for ADS. The best way to find out which sensitivity works for you is to go to the firing range and try out different sensitivities while firing on bots and targets. When you find the one that really works for you, then you know you're ready. As an extra, here's a simple training drill you can try out in the firing range to improve your aim. So you're going to move to the firing range and stand in front of the targets. Then you're going to start firing on the targets one by one, trying your best to aim for the centers. You can start out slow and keep increasing your pace as you go on, but try as much as possible to make sure they hit the center. Try this drill every day in the firing range before you start playing, and trust me, after just 1 week, you'll see a significant improvement in your aim. At last, we've come to the end of this video. If you found it interesting or at least useful, please leave a like. Thanks for watching. There'll be lots more content coming out in the coming weeks with so many different things to learn and tips. So please subscribe to keep up with it. Bye guys.